Oh, no one wants to apologize on national television. Having said that, I'm so sorry for so many things. But now George has had two very public apologies, and we're going to parse with Leah Gabrielle, Fox News correspondent, Jimmy Failla, a comedian, hoo-hee-ha-ha, and Will Ron, the Daily Beast, Washington bureau chief. A very important sounding title. Lady and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I mean a very important title. It's not just that. It's very passive-aggressive, Will.
Good to be here, Kennedy.
Great to have you. So, Will, I'll start with you, since you are an avid spectator of journalism.
Yeah.
Is George's turkey smoked?
You know, I see your point about, like, obviously this guy, he came from Clinton world. Of course, he's going to be allied to Clinton world. But can we at least get mad at him over this, you know, self-pitying apology, this quote-unquote apology? It's like, oh, I was just trying to help the children with the AIDS, and I was just trying to beat the mosquitoes with the malaria.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're all upset at me because I forgot to tell you about all the good work I did, then I guess I'm sorry. That, to me, is the most indefensible part of this.
Well, I think it's indefensible to think that the Clinton Foundation is working to do any of those things. I mean, if you really want to get people malaria nets and toilets and running water in Africa, donate to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
I think they do some of that stuff,
yeah,
and then, you know, some other stuff.
Yeah, they do maybe like 3% of that stuff and 97% malarkey. Bad judgment. Now, should he switch spots with Brian Williams?
He could. I know when Brian heard the story, he almost fell off his unicorn. He was in bad shape. But I thought the apology was more offensive than the deed, because what he said is, I should have worked harder to get rid of the interest of a conflict, meaning I should have lied more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I donated all this money and didn't tell you. I should have really not told you. Yeah. And the thing I thought was fascinating is that he donated $75,000, all of which Bill Clinton asked for in singles, which I thought was neat. He wanted some funny money.
It's just easier to change when he gets to those airports in sub-Saharan Africa.
To do with.
Leah Gabrielle, so happy that you're back. So, Leah, is any of this a surprise? Really?
Well, you know, when you look at his career and his background, I mean, he did start out in politics right after college. He worked as a congressional aide. He worked in the Dukakis campaign, Clinton's presidential campaign in the administration, and then he left. But he had kind of cleaned himself off from those affiliations publicly for a number of years. And I think the real issue here as a journalist is that, people just want to know who people are. When they hear you talking on TV these days, I think they just want to know who you are. I think they're okay with it if you're an opinion person. They're okay with it, if you're an reporter, somebody who's got their own iPhone is going to post something on the web. But I think they just want to know who you are, and I think that's the real issue here, is that he didn't disclose that. As far as the apology is concerned, my reaction similar to yours. I mean, I kind of wish he had thrown puppies in there, saving puppies.
Oh, that would have been great.
That would have really helped
his case. Does the Clinton Foundation do that?
Oh, I'm sure
I should really dial back the angry rhetoric against them, because that is wonderful.
I know, and they show pictures and everything's okay.
Well, Lord knows that they've got enough money to buy all those puppies. George's 75 grand looks like chump change compared to the $25 million the Clintons reportedly raked in from speeches. And that is just since January 2014. That is great scratch if you can get it. And I have to say, for $25 million, that has to be a heck of a speech, Jimmy.
That's a heck of a... And don't forget, that's just the money that came in above the table. You know what I mean? These are the Clintons, so there was at least another 50 probably underneath.
In Algeria?
Yeah, there's some good money coming in on the side for that favor. But, yeah, that's a lot of dough. 25 million Americans.
$25 million, and Bill said, I got to keep doing speeches because someone's got to pay the mortgage.
Got to pay our bills.
Well, you got to buy the White House. So do that.
That's funny.
That's a pretty handsome mortgage. So, but doesn't the former president make ex-presidency look kind of hot? I mean, if you can do speeches for $500,000 a pop, who wouldn't want to be president?
I mean, he does that, and he also is so good at the aw shucks. I just got to pay the bills. He's so good at relating to people, which unfortunately Hillary really is not that good at relating to people. But in all fairness, people who have been secretaries of state, who've been former directors of the CIA, who've been in these high-level positions, they go out, they get on the speech, they go on making, on the speaking tours, and they make a lot of money. It's a little bit of a rite of passage for somebody who's been the president. But, I look at Hillary Clinton, and she's wanting to be the champion of middle class. And here, in some of her speeches, she's making $330,000.
Hell, if you're sitting through one of those boring speeches, you should be paid. Like, every single person in the audience should get a check.
Get some.
It should be like Oprah. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a speech. But I think this is great news, Will, because these people, they're broke. And this is wonderful that they're finally able to.
I know. It's a real American success story.
It really is.
Like all our parents and grandparents before them, they came to America with a little dream and a speech circuit, and they've just raked it in all of these years. But it's such a strange problem for a politician to have, because they're both at the one time, like Mike Bloomberg ran the city for 12 years.
Yeah.
Mike Bloomberg was also like the richest guy in the city for most of it. You knew that Mike Bloomberg was never going to be able to be bought, you know?
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, these are two people who are both enormously wealthy and therefore out of touch, and apparently very easy to rent, at least for a couple of days.
Yeah, be leased out
Yes.
for 12 to 18 months.
They're both
depending on the terms of the
enormously
contract.
wealthy and viable.
Yeah.
That is the strange conundrum. They haven't figured out how to answer how they're going to deal with that.
You know why? They're nouveau riche. They're not used to the money.
You
Well, I'm a realist, Will.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, keep it to
there.
your yacht in Newport.
You know, at the Southampton Beach Bay Club where I summer. That's all we talk about.
It takes a lot of money to, have your own server and your own firewalls.
Yeah.
So those are important things.
Yeah, that wasn't cheap because she has to pay for AOL. She has AOL. She's the only person left in the country paying a monthly email fee.
She's keeping them afloat.
Yeah, she's waiting for the little CD to show up so she can update it
That's such a
on her
grandma
laptop.
move.
Yeah. Well, coming up, our panel is going to join us for more Louis C.K.